Hey, welcome back to Mocha Homestead. Today we are out in the garden and I'm going to show you what the garden looks like after a week of rain every day. So come along as I check on my plants and see what needs to be done. So as we enter the garden, it appears that everything looks pretty lush. I'm going to go down this first aisle with my plants and my green stalks. And my green stalk looks a little bit dry, if you can tell. These bottom two rows look a little bit dry, so we're gonna rectify that. The bottom tiers on this one as well, but you can see that things are starting to grow in them because of the rain. The top tiers have not sprouted, so, well, a couple have, and so I am going to put some other seeds in here to fill those gaps in, maybe some dill or something. I did put kale seeds at the bottom. They have not sprouted, so I am going to put something else there, and or I'm going to start some kale inside and transplant it. Over here, it appears that a lot of the things that I planted have started. There are a couple of pockets that are empty that again were that same kale seed, and so I am going to have to probably start some kale inside and transplant it outside because it did not like the direct sow method. Right behind my black green stalk, I have my pear tree that appears to be giving me a couple of pears this year. I have about 5 of them on this tree. I see 4 right now, but I keep counting 5. Okay, so I see 5. There are 5 on this tree, and we are grateful for that. We did have a late frost that caused most of my trees all down that line to drop all of their flowers, so we won't be getting anything from those this season, unfortunately. But I am going to find a farmer's market that I can source my fruit from. This is the first tomato bed. I need to I'm going to be putting clips on these tomatoes to clip them. It appears that they need some fertilization, and I brought out some compost, so some worm castings. So I'm going to put those worm castings along here so that the rain does not take my tomatoes out. As you can see, my citrus plant behind it, there and there, actually love the rain, as well as that grass. Don't mind the grass that was in the background. That is a grass that I am trying to get rid of, and it is very hard to do. In this bed, I see some carrots coming up. I do need to get out and weed since the rain has exposed a lot of weeds. So I need to come through and pull the weeds that are in my beds out, and I'm going to do that probably another day because it's supposed to rain again today. But I do see the carrots in the middle of this. Nothing else has come up in this bed, so I'm going to be starting some seeds to put in this bed as we go around. This tree, I think I killed it, but we're going to see. It had some leaves on it, and then they fell off because I forgot to water it. But I scraped the trunk, and it was still green a couple of weeks ago. It just has not put on any more new leaves, and we're just going to leave it and see what it does. Over here, I sprinkled some seeds in here before the rain. Does not appear that anything has come up just yet, so we're going to wait and see. And I think I'm going to come back and put some sunflower seeds in here just in case nothing comes up. Over here, if you can tell, this is a result of it raining a lot. Mushrooms are starting to pop up. We do have some zinnias over in the edge of the bed over here that are popping up, but mushrooms have popped up. None of the flower seeds that I planted have popped up either. Over here are my melons along the trellis, my watermelons here, and my loofah here. I am going to give them some nutrients with the worm compost, worm castings as well, to help give them a boost from all of the rain. My berry bushes are doing wonderfully. The bush in the corner, let me see if I can zoom in. This bush over in the corner is loaded with blueberries. The one next to it has several. And then we have this one here that has a lot of blueberries on it as well. I'm going to take you over and let you see it up close. The one that has the most blueberries, they're tiny, but they are mighty. And some of them are ready, so I am going to pick those today, just so that the birds don't start coming over here. These, on this one, is a little bit bigger. And I'm going to cut this back actually in the fall because it's growing lopsided. So we're going to cut it back and see if we can't get it to grow a little bit better. This year, this one is not producing any berries that I can tell, which is unfortunate. But it's fine. We'll work on the soil and see if that helps. This one is a new blueberry, so I wasn't expecting anything on this one this year. These other two are new as well this year from Ison's. This one does have a few berries on it, but I'm not expecting anything on those. Our razzleberry green stalk appears to be doing well. I do have some new toothache plant flowers on the bottom that I need to come out and harvest. The middle I put beets, and it looks like a few beets have come up in some of these pockets, but not in all of them. So I am going to pop some things in there to use that space more efficiently. And let's walk into the garden. Over here, I am allowing a dandelion to grow because I'm using some of the leaves in my salads. You can look up the medicinal benefits of that, but I have been using those in my salads. These tomatoes appear to be doing better than the other bed. Same tomatoes, either Roma or San Marzanos. So I am going to need to clip these as well, and I need to clean toward the bottom their leaves. There are some dandelions and some prickly lettuce that I'm letting stay for its medicinal benefits. I do need to clean out some of the weeds in this one and just clean this up to give it more airflow, and I'll be trying to get to that today. And I did pop in, if you can see down here, I did pop in some okra plants along the edge that have come up. And behind it, I have popped in some sunflowers here that have come up in different stages. Over here, we have my squash, my winter squash, butternut and spaghetti, and I am I'm waiting until it gets large enough, but as you can see, I'm about to get upset. Every year this squash bug finds me. Every year, y'all. So it's going to be time for me to come out and start checking leaves to make sure those don't grow. These along the edge of this bed are pumpkins, and so those are starting to grow pretty well as well. And I don't believe I popped in sunflowers on the back of these. I just let these be. I am going to need to cut this down. The rain, this is I can't think of the name of the tree, but I will put the name of it in there. It is a tree that grows on the other side of my fence, and it grows by rhizomes, and it has grown under my fence, and I am cutting this down today because we do not want this to get too out of hand. This is my cucumbers. So I have cucumbers along the back, and I have some basil popped in the middle, and I have some marigold seeds in here. They have not started to come up as far as I can tell. So I may need to start marigolds and just pop them in, or go to one of my local nurseries and grab some and just pop them in where I want them to go. It just depends on what my schedule is looking like for the next couple of weeks, which one I'm going to decide to do. But I would prefer to just start the seeds so that I know what kind they are. But yeah, there's my cucumbers. They already have flowers on them, if you can tell. So they've already started to flower. Over here is my bean. Ooh, some of these leaves don't look too good because of the rain, but these are beans. There's pinto beans, and I can't remember the other bean. Back in the back up on the trellis, and then there are green beans right here in the middle, and then right here are my spicy peppers. This is my spicy pepper bed. So we have cayenne and jalapenos in this bed. We do have 1 or 2 sweet peppers that we're not going to save the seeds from because we mistakenly planted them in this bed. Over here are sweet peppers, and as you can see, we already have sweet peppers. This is the red Marconi. We have some bell peppers here. We have bell peppers here. And I pulled a bell pepper earlier and a golden Marconi because it was being eaten by a slug or something, maybe a roly-poly. But these are my pepper plants. They all have a lot. Ooh, look at these, you guys. I have this one and this one, and that is a, well, that says bell pepper. That's not right. So that may be a red Marconi, actually. Over there, I think the bell pepper is the plant that's on the end. But they are doing exceptionally well. The rainwater did them well. I do have some carrots over here. I did plant something in the middle, and I can't remember what it was at the moment. I planted some sunflowers here and here, but for some reason my sunflowers over here did not germinate, so I'm gonna have to replant those. Here's another tomato bed that is doing exceptionally well. It has some basil in the front and some oregano. Those are my asparagus that I'm just letting do whatever they want. And then over here is my perennial flower bed. It is kind of wildflowers and other things that grow up in it. Along the edges are some, oh God, I'll put it on the screen. I'm trying to remember. They are lilies. So these are daylilies along the edge, and then you have some Asian lilies with the salmon color here. You have the salmon color. Let me go up on it because it's big. These are my favorite. These and the salmon colored ones. The yellow ones are pretty. These are my favorite. And then I love, I don't know what this is, but I need to figure it out. Whatever this pink plant is. If you guys can tell me what this is. Because it has been that pink since the beginning. And I adore it. And I want more of it. These are my raspberry trees or bushes that appear that they may have died. I'm gonna have to scrape the bark of them and see. They had small leaves on them, but they appear that they may have died. I hope not. Here is the raspberry bush, the last remaining raspberry bush. It's doing okay this season. Not as good as it's done in previous seasons. My plan was to chop this one down this year because it has thorns, and just do the thornless ones that I just showed you, because those are thornless, so that I can have a thornless berry patch with blackberries and raspberries for my daughter, so that she can pick them without have to worry about getting hurt. So as you can see, these blackberries have tons of buds on them. So we are going to have a wonderful blackberry harvest this year, and I cannot wait. If I turn around, one of the last beds are my strawberries, and they are doing well. I have a strawberry bed here, and then behind these weeds, 2 strawberry grow bags and a small strawberry bed. I also have, these are my herbal beds that are not, they're missing some things that either died or didn't come back. I do have yarrow that I did not know spreads like crazy, and it's taken over a lot of that bed. I have some feverfew and some, I can't think of the name of this plant right here. This one, I'll have to figure it out because I planted it last year, that are doing exceptionally well. Here are my potatoes. I have 2 20-gallon bags of potatoes. I do have some more potatoes in the house that I plan on starting. I am trying to succession plant so that I can have a harvest of potatoes ongoing. So they are doing really well. They're starting to flower. I've never seen a potato plant flower, but they are starting to flower. It's very interesting. And over here are my grapes. So these grapes I've had for a couple of years, and this one, as you can see, I have bagged the grape clusters that are growing inside them so that the birds don't get them. But I've also installed this new trellis. Let me step back and see if you can see it. I have installed this new trellis up. It goes, let's see if I can get a better view over here. So the trellis is from the plants. You can't see it on the camera, I don't believe. It goes all the way up in a U shape. That might be a little bit better. You might be able to see it. It goes up here and comes down to the other plant so that they can grow up there. So that's how the garden is looking after a week of rain. Some things are doing exceptionally well. Some things are looking like they're struggling because of the water. The ones that look like they are struggling, I am going to put some worm castings down for them to try to help them get some nutrients back in the soil. I'm going to clip the tomatoes, and I'm going to cut that invasive plant over there that I told you about earlier in the video. So it is starting to get a little bit warm out here, and it's supposed to rain again later today. So let me get started on the garden tasks that I need to get done. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on all social media. Until next time, bye.